Oh, hey guys, how you doing? It's Don Binkley. I'm the director here at Property Providers, and I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about bookings, notifications, and owners requesting net payer, what the net outcome will be. So, say for instance, we go and take a booking for say like $50,000. Owner partner says, "Well, how much do I get in my hand?" And that's a reasonable request, to ask. However, it's not an easy answer, and I think that sometimes owners might think that, like, just tell me what I'm going to get in the hand, and unfortunately, this is more sophisticated than one might see in a normal kind of leasing capacity. When we have, I'm getting $2,000 a week, the agency commission is, 5%. And so therefore, I'm going to get kind of $1,900 in the hand a week. Very, very easy to calculate when you have an annuity long-term lease. However, in the short-term rental space, it's different, and I'll tell you why. The first thing is that we have deployed a technology in our business called dynamic pricing. So this is real-time data, real-time changes based on market supply and demand. So the rates are fluctuating up and down. Now, let me tell you, this is absolutely working. There's no doubt about that. We're seeing numbers go up, but no longer is it, I'm going to get, $800 a night. You might find that one night you're getting $1,500, and the next night you're getting $800, and the next night you're getting $600, and the next night you're getting $1,800. So even from the top line, it's variable at the moment. I think the issue with short-term rentals versus long-term leasing is that this is not comparing apples to apples. It's more like comparing apples to watermelons, where we are really operating in an accommodation, hospitality business. And with that business, yes, there are our costs, which is our, either our booking commission and our property management commission. But there's also direct property-related costs, like, let's say, repairs and maintenance. Toilet needs to get fixed. We've got to call the plumber to come out and get the toilet fixed. Well, obviously that's going to affect the net payout. Other things that we're finding is that, and we want this to happen, owners booking their own properties. So, and that's fine. We want owners to use their properties or gift their properties. But that also could affect the net payout, because of course there's costs associated with executing an owner booking. So we still got to clean it, we still got to make the beds, we still got to exchange the keys, we still got to do all these things. So there's some hard costs in as it relates to the cleaning, pretty much the cleaning and the linen component of that. The other component is if an owner cancels a booking for whatever reason, there could be costs associated with that. The big one, though, is when a guest requests compensation, and that could be, and most of the time, it has absolutely nothing to do with what's in our circle of control and circle of influence. The big one here is construction. So, a case that happened a couple of weeks ago, we rented a luxury house. The guest calls up and says, "I want compensation," and we say, "Well, what for?" And they're like, "Well, the guy that's 3 streets down is building a pool." And, all we can hear is drilling, and that's kind of disrupting us. Again, owner hadn't been notified of the DA because it's a couple streets away. And, in these cases where there's kind of disruption of peaceful enjoyment, and lots of times it has to do with construction, it's appropriate to give the customer some sort of quid pro quo or compensation. The other one would be kind of acts of God. No exaggeration. We have had a house fall we've had a tree fall on a house. Of course, we had to relocate the guest. So the guest is not going to pay the full rent if they've had to leave the house 2 weeks early. There are things like NCAT. We go to NCAT maybe once or twice a year. We've never lost, but of course, if we have to resolve a dispute, the NCAT could turn to us and say, the owner is due to pay the guests X dollars. So, really, I would love to be able to say, owner, here's a $50,000 booking and you're going to get $40,000 net in your hand. But unfortunately, we don't really have control of some of the costs, especially in a kind of central location with a non-homogeneous product. There are costs associated with running these properties. So would love to give you give owners net payouts, but it's just not possible. I would suggest if owner partners want some certainty, the best way to go is probably to shift the model from a short-term rental into a long-term lease, where you're going to get the same rent week in, week out for 2 years, and the agency commission, it's going to normalize. Or we can also move to a booking agent type of agreement where all we do is the sales, marketing, and finance, and there's no kind of operational scope of work. So unfortunately, we can't give owners net payouts. It's just not, we leave the agency up to in too much risk. Know this, we do everything we can to minimize costs, but there are costs associated with running a property and delivering with a premium experience. So we want to be upfront. We want to be transparent. We want to be, and by the way, our financials are 100% transparent. Every single cost or fee or charge is itemized. But it is different. This is not a long-term leasing scenario. It's a short-term rental scenario. So with that comes with all the extra money that people make in short-term rentals in terms of, particularly over this December and January period. There's more work that goes into it. Now, the important thing is that our commission never changes. It is what it is. It's calculated off the gross rent, and obviously, if the gross rent's $50,000, our commission is going to be different than if it's $10,000 gross rent. Our commission will be different. Hence, why it's difficult to provide net payouts. I hope that explanation kind of gives it some context. The last thing we want to be seen as hiding something or cloaking stuff. We want to be totally upfront and honest. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there because it's a question that's coming at us a couple times. Hope that helps. Also, our policy is on our website if you want to take a look. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to give us a call. Bye.